I'm Hannah.
And I'm Matt Hannah.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannahs.
We're halfway through 2026.
Woot woot!
So we're going to talk about all the horror movies we've seen so far in this first half of the year, the first 2 quarters, if you will. And then talk about some of the ones we're excited about for the next 2 quarters.
Yay! I'm very excited to talk about some of my favorites of the year so far.
Is that where we want to start? Going through our top 10? Of what we've seen?
Probably. Yeah, I feel like I have a really strong 9. And other than
All right,
that,
let's start with the
yeah,
number 10s then.
Okay. My number 10 is Exit 8.
I did not have that on my list.
Yeah, I had trouble figuring out what I wanted as my 10th placer. It was between a few things. I also had Backrooms and The Bride sitting right there, and I decided to go with Exit 8 simply because I do think it's a really impressive video game adaptation, and I liked what it was doing thematically. So that's kind of the only reason I ended up putting it there compared to one of the others that I just mentioned.
Got it. Well, in my 10, I had Sakharine, which came out in May. We saw it early. It was kind of limited release, but I know it was one you and I both enjoyed, and I thought it was like, you know, just above the other kind of mediocre films I saw so far.
I think it's more than just above mediocre. I actually have it as my number 9.
Whoa. Maybe I shouldn't say mediocre, but like the more middle of the road films, it's like just above them is what I would say.
I had a lot of fun with it. I do think that they could have, pun intended, cut the fat a little bit on this one. I do think it goes a little long, but I do like it a lot conceptually. I thought the leading lady did a great job, and I found the narrative itself really interesting and unique.
I had a lot of fun watching it. So
I think it was really impressive how well it was able to distinguish itself from a movie like The Substance, which is doing something like thematically similar. So I was pretty impressed with it.
all right, so for my number 9, I'm picking a movie that I think is not good, but everyone's heard me talk about it, and that's Passenger, which is the best bad movie I've seen in a decade, probably. So I just had a lot of fun with this movie. It has 2 extremely scary scenes, and while it's like a pretty poor movie from a narrative standpoint, like there's a lot to like about it. It's laughable in its script department, but everything else about it's pretty fun.
I have Passenger at 16.
Okay.
I have Passenger rated better than movies that I gave higher star ratings to, but I had so much fun with it that I think it rightfully belongs in my top 20 for right now.
Yep. All right, what do you got at 8?
I have Undertone.
I must have, did it come out in 2025? Because I missed it. So I will put it on, I'm going to rearrange my list to get it on there.
Oh, goodness.
No,
Okay.
it's okay.
Yeah, so it might have come out, and I probably had a festival release last year. This is why I keep a list of movies.
Right after you see them?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to do that.
I've been asking you to do that for
Well, I forgot.
millennium now. But I thought Undertone was so much fun. I liked that it was getting pretty creative and experimental with its sound design. I think the plot isn't consistently my favorite compared to others on the list, but I just think it did something. It was just so well done in terms of the sound, and seeing it in Dolby was just really exciting.
Well,
and I found it pretty freaking scary. I think it's one of the scariest films to come out this year.
I'm moving it to my number 7, which is where I had Disclosure Day, but Hannah told me that's not a horror movie. So I just took Disclosure Day off the list and put Undertone there instead.
Is that where it rightfully belongs on your list?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's
I think like
fun.
looking with where things are, I would put it probably right around there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But you're on your number 8, though.
Well, I know, but if you said it, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. If you have it, like I'll tell you where mine is so we don't repeat.
Why don't you just tell me in the future? I have that.
I'll have it later.
Ranked
okay.
better.
Well,
talk
my
about
number
it
8 was 28 Years Bone Temple.
I have that ranked better.
All
We'll
right, so
get
you can
to
talk
it
about
later.
it later. And then I said I had Undertone at 7.
Okay.
So you can go to your 6,
Did you have
I guess.
anything else to say about Undertone?
No. You said everything.
Okay, let me get to my number 8.
Oh, we
I
skipped.
didn't
All right,
do.
I'm all turned around now. Okay.
Yeah, you've been fucking this shit up. Okay, my number 8 is Send Help. I've been struggling as to where specifically I want to place this one. I think I could use a rewatch and narrow it down a little bit better, but I had so much fun with Send Help. It's one of the movies this year. There's been a few where I laughed out loud. The others being Forbidden Fruits and The Invite. All three of these films made me continuously laugh out loud. I guess Over Your Dead Body as well, but I'm not sure how horror that is exactly, so it's not on my list. But I found it hilarious. I loved the chemistry between Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. There are parts of it I don't love. Like, I think that some of the CGI looks crappy. Like, the pig is, like, unsettlingly fake looking, and I don't know how much of that's the point or not. But overall, I had a good time, and I'm a sucker for, like, a deserted island narrative. Like, the Even Stevens movie is very important to me as a human being, so it's, like, no surprise that I would like it a lot. I'm guessing that wasn't on your list since you let me talk about it.
It's on another part of my list. Or it's in another section for me.
That makes me feel like shit.
So.
Okay. All right, that's fine. My number 7, and again, let me know if it's higher up on your list, is Forbidden Fruits.
I do have it higher on my list.
Okay, then, and you already gave us your 10 through 7, right?
Yep.
What's your number 6?
Forbidden Fruits.
Perfect.
So you have it at 7, I have it at 6. This movie was hysterical. I quote it all the time. I'm disappointed that I haven't seen it again yet.
I need to watch it
was
again.
One of the funniest movies I've seen this year in the past couple of years, to be honest. It is so silly, and I think so perfectly captures a type of person, type of personality, and just feels like it's really caught itself in time in a good way. I feel like sometimes when movies like this come out, they feel like 5 years behind. This one feels like perfectly in time. Like it's capturing a current moment.
Oh, I'm stupid. I have my numbers out of order. I also had it at number 6.
Oh, nice. So now you're fucking it up.
Yep, I am. It's because I just screenshotted my Letterboxd and something that I have ranked higher hasn't come out theatrically
I saw
yet.
that because I looked at your list. So good. I was about to say I would have put that on mine too.
So let's go 10 through 6 since we screwed up talking about it.
Okay. For me, like all the way through?
Yes.
So 10, I had Saccharin. 9, I had Passenger, which is hilarious. 8, I had 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. 7, I had Undertone. And 6, I had Forbidden Fruits.
Okay. At 10, I had Exit 8. At 9, I have Saccharin. At 8, I have Undertone. At 7, I have Send Help. And at 6, I have Forbidden Fruits.
All right.
Okay.
Do you want to do your 5?
Yeah, my number 5 is Julia Ducournau's Alpha.
I have this one higher.
Okay.
But you can still talk about it, or do you want me to wait?
What do you have at your number 5?
My number 5, I have The Bride.
Okay, I don't have that, so talk about it.
Oh wait, where was The Bride on yours?
It's not my top.
Oh, it's not in your... Oh, you said it might have been in your 10.
It's my, 11 right now, I think.
I loved this movie. It's a mess, and I love it anyway. I found it so fun. I mean, we have a whole episode talking about it, but I thought it was really fun. I thought it was unique. I liked Maggie's directorial style. I thought it was a phenomenal performance from both of the leads. And it just felt so different to me. It felt so unique. I saw it at a time where I felt like I really needed to see it. And I think it says interesting things about the patriarchy. And I said before that I think it kind of does a good job acknowledging how the patriarchy hurts men as well as women. And I don't think a lot of movies are brave enough to get that nuanced with it. And I appreciate that this, for the most part, goes that route.
I think it's a really flawed movie, but I think which you acknowledge, but I do think it's so much fun, and I love how bold it is in the statements it's making, in the design of everything, the characters, the production design, the makeup.
The movie has the ghost of Mary Shelley.
Which is bananas, actively bananas decision making, and we have no choice but to stand Maggie Gyllenhaal for the attempt she was making. Whether they all land is a different story. But enough of them landed for you that it's your number 5.
It is.
Proud of you for speaking the truth.
I had a great time. One of my most fun movies this year.
That's beautiful. Okay, my number 4, you already said it, and we didn't talk about it, was 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
Oh, you have that way higher than me.
I mean,
I liked this, didn't love it, because I loved the first one so much more.
My
first one being the third one, technically, 28 years later.
My top 3, I love down. I love to death. I would say I don't like 28 Years Bone Temple quite as much as my top 3, obviously, hence why it's not there. But I do think as an overall project, I have a lot that I appreciate, which is why it is where it is. I think it's a really great continuation of the arc that we got in the first one. I think that Nia DaCosta is doing the best that another director can do, kind of stepping into this franchise outside of Danny Boyle. I wish it was more experimental the way 28 Years was, but again,
Agreed.
It's a different director. We can't necessarily expect that, and I liked the style that she brought to it, even if it was not as preferable to me. And I honestly think that Ralph Fiennes and Jack O'Connell are putting on some of the best performances of the year so far, and that goes a long way for me. So that's kind of why I have it at 4. Nice. What about you?
I have Leviticus, which I know you're going to have even higher.
Yep.
So I'll hold off. But it's a really good movie. And again, we have episodes on pretty much all of mine. So
that's funny.
You can hear us talk.
We don't have an episode on Passenger.
We don't have an episode on what?
Passenger.
Or Alpha.
This is true. Or Saccharine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know why I said that. I'm just straight up lying.
Yeah, you're a liar. It's okay. My number 3, since you said your number 4 was Leviticus, but I have it higher. My number 3, you're going to have higher. My number 3 is Hokum.
I have Hokum higher.
What's your number 3?
Obsession.
Okay, I have Obsession higher. My number 2 is Obsession, though, so we can talk about it.
What's there to say? Everyone's already said it. It's huge for a reason. It's really fun. It's funny. It kind of hits a little bit of everything. It's very well made, especially for a first-time feature film.
Yeah.
Curry Barker's really good at this, and I hope he keeps doing it. And all the performances are great.
I'm actually so shocked you have it at number 3, because I feel like after we saw it, you were like,
Yeah, but then I thought about all the horror movies that came out this year, and they're just fine. Some are really good, some are meh. I think Obsession's really good. Mm-hmm. I think that people love it so much, and I'm like, well, I don't love it the same way other people do, but I still think it's excellent.
Yeah, I think it's a really freaking good movie. I love what it's saying, and I think it's really funny that, like, some men on the internet don't understand what it's saying, and it's
okay,
like, well,
does anybody not actually understand it, or is that just all rage bait?
I don't know, dude. You should see some of the comments that I've seen. I had a comment, someone commented and was like, Nikki's obviously the villain, are you kidding? I'm like, did you not understand the movie?
Dude, it's
like,
rage bait. I'm telling you.
I swear to God, it's just an idiot.
Okay, maybe.
But I like what this is saying about, the quote, nice guy and women's agency and whatnot.
I think it really commits to what it's trying to do, also.
I think the movie looks great. I think it's uncomfortable as all hell, while also still being funny and having moments of levity that I enjoy. I think that the performances are great. Indy Navarrete is a queen, and I think she should be, at least in some awards conversation, at least for like a Golden Globe or something. And yeah, I think we've obviously talked about this movie in depth, and so has everyone else on the internet. But if you want to hear our thoughts in more depth, like we said, we do have an episode on it, so go check it out.
So was that your...
That's my number 2. What's your number 2?
I have Alpha at number 2, which was Julie Ducournau's third film. I love all of her work, and I was very, very moved by Alpha. I actually forgot it came out this year, unfortunately. But one of my favorites, honestly, this could be interchangeable for my number 1, but it is a movie about, it's an allegory for the AIDS crisis. And I think I haven't really seen it done this well before and really put it in perspective to someone who was born in 96 and didn't fully understand it in the aftermath of the AIDS crisis, the epidemic. And I really just love the way that it's portrayed in this and the anxiety and fear that came along with it, especially for the people who lived it and then were raising their children afterwards. I just, like I said, I was very moved, almost like with all of her films. Are very moving. I think I like this one better than Teton, maybe not as much as Raw, but you also had it on your list, so why did you have it there?
I think this is a beautiful movie. I don't know if I would even say it's like quite horror, but it's been labeled as body horror. So, I think it's less so horror than Teton or Raw, but
yes,
I think it is really emotionally moving. I like the way it kind of plays with your expectations of time, or like
Definitely.
which character's perspective you're living in at times. I think that's really interesting. I think the design of the illness in this film is bananas, beautiful, crazy.
It's really interesting, too, to take the concept of an illness that is supposed to be an allegory for AIDS and show it visually, since AIDS is not a visual illness that you can really see.
Yeah.
Or HIV, I guess, in this situation, to see, like, but it obviously is destructive and horrible. And to see it as a visual representation, as a very destructive and scary thing that just tears you apart, I think works so well. And is just, again, it's very moving and disturbing and unsettling and very real.
This is also a movie about grief and loss, and those kinds of narratives always really seem to hit for me.
And especially when it's tied to an actual epidemic where a significant portion of people and family members were lost.
Yeah. Well, and I also
and the government did nothing.
I think we need to acknowledge the fact that the disease is shown as marble. Not only is it a physical depiction of an illness that doesn't have a physical characteristic necessarily, but I think it kind of serves as a metaphor for the dehumanization of people.
Yep.
Especially at that time, the 80s, during the AIDS epidemic. So I just think that this movie is really smart. I understand why people don't love it as much as her other work. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I chose not to read anything. I just let it sit with me.
We talked about it extensively when the movie came out between the two of us.
Don't remember.
So that's really cool.
Don't remember. You know how many movies we talk about?
I love having a husband who doesn't remember things I say. It's so fun.
Hannah, how many movies have we talked about so far in 2026?
Yeah, and?
I just liked it, so I just held on to that.
Yeah, it was real good. It was real good, and I like it. I have a pretty lengthy Letterboxd review. I think at some point we should just cover it.
No one will listen to that episode, but...
I know, but I want to.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe we'll do a Raw and Alpha episode.
Sure.
I don't know.
What did you have at your number 2? Or did you already do your number 2?
I already did that.
Oh, so you're number 1 then?
Yeah.
All right, I know what your number 1 is then.
And I know what your number 1 is.
Well, I have Hokum as my number 1, which you had earlier. And you're going to have...
Leviticus!
As your number 1, which was not my number 4.
Yeah.
These are both really great movies that we have episodes on. So I would say go listen to them. They're good eps. Hokum is just one of the scariest, probably the scariest movie I've seen so far this year, with one of the tightest scripts. It's basically just a perfect film for me. Love a little haunted hotel story. It's simple and just to the point, and I really like it for that. So that's why it's at my number 1 for the horror movies of the year. I don't need to say anything else beyond that. So what do you think of Hokum before you talk about Leviticus?
Oh, I think it's incredible. I had such a fun time with it. I mean, I saw it in theaters literally 3 times for a reason, which is the most I've ever seen any movie in theaters.
Whoa, I saw it twice in theaters.
Well, because I saw it at a festival, I saw it at an early release in
Philly. And then you saw it with me since I can
go
to the early release.
Yes, again with you and my mom, who was stone cold during the whole thing. I was like, damn, how you not jumping? And then after she was like, yeah, it was great. It was scary. And I was like, ma'am, you showed no facial expression. Did you smoke pot before you came into the theater? Damn. But visually, I really like it. I think the performances are great. I think the scares are really well done. It has one of the scariest moments of the year as well for me. And I'm just really excited to see what Damian McCarthy has in store next. And I really hope Adam Scott does more horror.
Me too.
More legit horror, not horror comedy like The Monkey. But my number 1, as we said, is Leviticus. And Leviticus, I can't say it's the best made movie on my list, but it's number 1 because it emotionally resonated the most for me by far. This is the movie of this list that made me tear up, made me cry. And I just think that what it's offering thematically is the most important of any movie we talked about on the pod that came out this year. And that just went a long way for me.
You know, I like it a lot. It wasn't my number 1, but I think it's really well made. It's also nice, tight, short script, and it's very meaningful and has a lot of really interesting things to say. And I think our conversation we had about it with Slasher Review was really, really good. And I think people should go listen to that episode.
Yeah, we talked about it with Dylan
for like 2 hours.
So long. Yeah, it's our longest episode to date. We have a lot to say, obviously, so go check that out. Okay, let's go through our 10.
Okay. You want me to do mine real quick?
Yep.
All right. Number 10, Saccharin. Number 9, Passenger. Number 8, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Number 7, Undertone. Number 6, Forbidden Fruits. Number 5, The Bride, ! Number 4, Leviticus. Number 3, Obsession. Number 2, Alpha. And number 1, Hokum.
Okay, mine is number 10, Exit 8, number 9, Saccharin, number 8, Undertone, number 7, Send Help, number 6, Forbidden Fruits, number 5, Alpha, number 4, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, number 3, Hokum, number 2, Obsession, and number 1, Leviticus.
Okay, so that is it for our top 10s.
Sorry for our forgetting how to do math during like all of that, but you got them eventually, so it's okay. We are going to talk now about the movies we found the most disappointing.
Well, I can go first since I had one on your top 10 that I found disappointing.
Oh, shit.
Which was Send Help. This was a movie I did not like very much, and I made it clear during, but everyone else seems to love it, so I think I'm in
you
the wrong.
are in the minority.
I found it. I didn't like the way it looked, and I didn't find it very entertaining. There are decent parts. I think for like a Sam Raimi movie, I was kind of disappointed, though.
I mean, he did do the movie Great and Powerful Oz, so he's not perfect.
Yeah, never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Well, we know it exists, and
True. I actually
we
forgot
know
that was him.
it's cast. It's James Franco, so past his prime.
True.
So there were signs along the way.
Did he ever have a prime? Spider-Man 2?
128 hours. Is that what it's called?
27.
127.
Yeah, close.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I see that.
I don't think it's the prettiest looking movie of the year, no. But I thought it was so funny that I didn't care.
No, it just didn't work for me. I don't need to argue about it. I think people know how I feel if they listen to that episode. But this is one I just didn't really like. Didn't really click for me. So I was disappointed because I was very excited for a new Raimi movie, a big like return to horror, and that was kind of meh for me.
I'm excited to see what he does next.
Definitely. I will always be excited to see what he does.
Okay. One of mine we've talked about on the podcast before. It's Affection. It came out in May, but we saw it at Overlook Film Festival in April. It's a Jessica Roth movie. She's a woman who wakes up in an unfamiliar house with a man and a young girl who claim to be her husband and daughter, but she doesn't recognize them. And this is just like...
It's bad.
It's really not good. I was really disappointed because I thought the concept was cool and I think she's a decent actress. Yeah, I just like, it feels like a sci-fi original movie that doesn't hit.
I didn't put it on my most disappointing because I didn't have any expectations and I tried to block it out of my memory. It is one of my lowest rated films of this year, though. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just didn't even, I was like, no one knows it, so I wasn't even going to bring it up as disappointing.
Well, that's fair. Another one of my most disappointing was Dolly, which people were like, oh, it's such like a dirty, grimy slasher. And
well, you don't like slashers, so.
La da da. And I just like, it didn't entertain me. It didn't gross me out enough. It like, I just don't know what it's supposed to offer me, I guess. It just didn't do it for me like at all. And I'm apparently in the minority for that. So, what is what it is.
Yeah. I also had on mine Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which we both, I know, didn't like. And the further I get away from it, the more I dislike it. And I realize I don't really like Lee Cronin very much.
Yeah.
This movie's bad.
Maybe a hot take that we have. We don't think Lee Cronin has the sauce.
Yes, he doesn't.
Next week's episode will be on another Lee Cronin movie, funny enough. Evil
that
Dead
we also
Rise.
Think doesn't really have the sauce. It has better moments than The Mummy, though.
I would agree. So we'll talk about him more next week.
Cool.
My last most disappointing is Night Patrol. It's the Justin Long LA Cop movie. Yeah, I know, because I didn't make you watch it. An LA cop discovers a local task force is hiding a secret that puts the residents of his childhood neighborhood in danger. The secret is that this, division of the LAPD are vampires. And so they, eat poor people.
Oh. I kind of like the concept.
Okay, that's why it's so disappointing, because conceptually I was like, fuck yeah, brother. And in altogether, it was just a piece of shit. It's not good. It's boring. And it has actors that I like Justin Long and Dermot Mulroney. So I am saddened. Dermot looked hot though, so like whatever.
Cool. I didn't have any other big disappointments.
That's
fair. I think most of the other things aligned where I expected them.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some of our favorite scenes and or scares.
Cool.
Get us started. Give me one.
Hokum dumbwaiter scene is, I think, the scene I talk about making me nauseous because I got scared so bad.
Yes.
So I've talked about it at length if you want to listen to that episode, but if you've seen it, you know the dumbwaiter, the specifically entity climbing up the dumbwaiter as the camera faces down.
My exact note here says this whole movie was the scariest, but specifically her crawling up the dumbwaiter.
Yep. Well, if I want to name another scene that you're probably going to have the scariest was the woods projector scene in Passenger.
That scene rocks.
Jumped so hard we were trying to crawl up the back of our seats to get away from the screen.
I screamed out loud. Yeah. I was really obnoxious in that movie. I think I just kind of like let my shit go. I was like, whatever, bro.
Those are the two scariest this year. Well, you have Obsession in yours by any chance?
I have the Obsession car.
I was about to say those are the top two, and I said, well, wait, except the Obsession one, and I didn't want to steal your thunder, so top three then.
That scene, is tough. I think Undertown could maybe take second scariest movie, but I don't remember anything specific because it's been, 4 months since we saw it. I feel like I would need to rewatch it to pinpoint a specific moment. But I do think that movie is scary. The sound design was fabulous. Maybe like Mom having like consciousness was one of the scariest moments in that, since she was like on death's doorstep, unconscious the whole time. I think we would be remiss to not mention the 28 years later Bone Temple Number of the Beast scene.
I didn't have that on mine, but
that's crazy.
I thought it was fun.
I think that might be the best scene in a movie of the year.
Nah.
Like the most monumental moment in a movie in 2026 so far.
Disagree, but that's okay. Everyone does love it. I'll be a contrarian. It's good. I don't think it's like
it's so
life-changing.
Fun.
Okay. Again, I like it. I think that him climbing the tower in the first one with his mom's skull was more life-changing.
Well, because that moved you emotionally.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
I did really like this Ralph Fiennes moment. I think it's, it's hard because that movie, Bone Temple, is good. It just didn't hit for me the same way it did for other people. So that's why I'm like, the scene is really good, but I feel like it's like the movie kind of builds up just for that scene to be good.
That's
a whole other complaint.
That's
so
a
I don't
different
need to,
problem. I was sitting next to you during that scene,
and I thought it was cool.
Really liked it.
Yeah, it is cool.
So I think you're just.
I think there were just ones that took over. Like the ending of another amazing movie, Disclosure Day, not a horror movie, but I wanted to talk about it. And I have the news report scene as one of my favorites. And I know you love that too.
Yeah,
that climax is crazy.
Yeah, I loved the third act of that movie. Even though it's not a horror movie, we didn't know what it would fit genre-wise before we saw it, so we covered it anyway. Fuck it. And I had plenty of praise for the third act of that movie. Yep. I think Courtney Grace as the news anchor does a baller ass job. It's incredible. She kills it.
Do you have any other ones? Because I have one more.
Go ahead.
My last one was The Bride. The proposal rejection scene was one that I loved.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the scene where he proposes to her and she's like, says no. And then he laughs because it's like all about her. She's like, I'm my own person. I don't want to this. And then he gets shot in the head.
That's when they're at the drive-in?
Yes.
Okay.
And I like screamed because I didn't expect him to just get shot out of nowhere. It was such a cute scene where she rejects him and he laughs and is like, you know what? No, I love you because you would reject me from this. Like because you are your own person, which is like big themes within the movie that I like. But then to have him immediately get domed, I was like, oh my God. Like I was like going to have a panic attack in the theater in a good way.
Yeah, that was pretty screwed up.
I just wanted to shout that scene out. I know not everyone loves The Bride, but it's in there for me.
It's a fun scene for sure.
Is that it for you?
I can recall what the hell you're talking about.
You can't?
I can now, but I couldn't.
Oh, now. I thought you said now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Misheard.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any other ones?
No, I I think that's it.
So let's talk about what we're looking forward to for the rest of the year. And I have a bunch in here. And I think I see your list. Looks like you have a bunch also.
I do. Okay, give me one.
Resident Evil, Zach Kreger.
That's on my list.
Easy.
Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma.
That's also on my list.
Of course.
I'm really excited about that.
It Ends.
We've both seen It Ends.
But it hasn't had its theatrical release, and I'm really, 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 really excited for it.
That's also why I put Never After Dark on my list, which we've both seen, and I'm really excited for it to have its theatrical release.
Yeah, really good.
Did you also have Never After Dark?
Yes, really good movie. Really excited.
Yeah. I'm
We're going to cover it.
Again. Yeah.
Another one that I don't see on your list, because like now at this point we're just reading each other's notes like assholes.
Yeah.
Buddy has its theatrical release.
I only want to do one that I've already seen, but yes, I am pumped for Buddy to come out again.
I think we're going to have to cover it. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's great.
So
probably
fun.
one I'd want to bring a friend on for too.
Oh, yeah, we have like two
Take
friends
someone.
that I think would be really funny on that. Give me another one.
Other Mommy.
I'm excited for Other Mommy because I read the book and it is...
I know you read the book.
Scared the bejesus out of me.
I think it's funny that they're naming it that.
I think
it's probably smart for them to name it that.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Incidents Around the House as a name.
I was about to ask the name of the books. I think I understand why they would change it though, because it's hard to sell Incidents Around the House. Like
Other Mommy just sounds kind of silly.
It sounds sinister to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like people have been like, it sounds dumb, and I kind of see why it would sound dumb. It's like in the same vein of like Mama.
Yeah.
Or like Ma as dumb movie names. Funny enough, comparing it to Mama, the entity in it really does... Reading it gave me Mama vibes, and it's also starring Jessica Chastain.
Nice.
I think that's
her. I'm excited since you read it. I guess I'll have to read it before it comes out.
I think you should. I want to know if I'm being a puss or not.
I also should say we're only talking about horror movies because, like, obviously we're pumped about The Odyssey and Dune Part 3.
Part 3.
And other stuff. All right. I saw one. I got another one that I just saw today, and I barely read on it, but it's called Victorian Psycho.
Yeah,
have you heard of it?
Yes.
It's Micah Monroe.
Micah.
All I saw was the name and was like, wait, is this like a different version of American Psycho?
No.
Oh, it's not?
Nope.
The way I read about it, it was.
I mean, it's set in 1858.
Yeah, I thought it was like supposed to be a play on American Psycho.
Bro, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's what I heard. It's not a remake. I heard it was like a play on it, though.
Maybe the name is.
No, okay, fine.
It premiered at Cannes. I don't know when it gets its release date.
Okay, well, either way, I like Micah. She's Scream Queen.
Me too.
And the premise
it also has
was
Jason Isaacs and Thomasin McKenzie, so that's really exciting. Jacoby Jupe. It's a good cast. Pretty exciting cast. So I'm excited to catch that when it gets its wide release. I'm just not sure quite when that is. I've had that book, fun fact, on my to-read list for a very long time, not realizing it was being made into a movie. So that's pretty funny that I didn't put that together. And then finally, I have Werewolf.
I also have Werewolf.
Werewolf, I guess. Yeah, I'm a Eggers stan till I die. I had a dream that I met Eggers, and I was trying to figure out how to ask him questions without sounding crazy, and then I just went mute.
That's very funny. I think he seems intimidating, to be honest.
I think he seems really nice, but like because he's such an artiste and not like a dipshit, like. Talking to him and talking to Robert Pattinson feel like two opposite ends of the spectrum, for example. Two people who've done a movie together. That's where my brain went there. Like, I feel like I could say whatever the fuck I wanted to Robert Pattinson. Like, whatever words came to my brain, I could just be like, tomato soup. And he'd be like, he would just know what to say. He would just bounce off of that. And Eggers would be like, are you okay? Are you having a stroke? You know?
Yeah.
You know?
I had to look up Victorian Psycho because the article I read earlier literally referenced Patrick Bateman. And so I just made the assumption, and no, apparently it's not.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, well, other than that, I think that's pretty much all the ones I'm anticipating. I'm sure there's some that we missed, so if there is any, let us know what you think.
I mean, there's definitely stuff we missed, like End of Oak Street, yada yada, but...
I'm not anticipating End of Oak Street. You might be.
Dinosaurs! Yeah. I'm so excited for the dinosaurs.
If anyone else disagrees with our top 10, let us know. Tell us your top 10.
Yeah, drop a comment on Spotify and let us know what your top 10
Actually,
is.
our highest listened views come from Apple Podcasts. So drop a comment on Apple Podcasts.
Apple doesn't have comments.
Oh, okay. Seek us out in real life and tell us to our face.
Send us
Instagram DM.
Yeah. Comment on our episode post.
Knock on our door. Okay. Well,
send a carrier pigeon.
That's a good one. All right, no more bits. Well, I think we're about wrapped up here. Anything else you need to say?
We're going to hand it over to some of our podcast and other film friends to share some of their thoughts on the year thus far. So thank you to our podcasty friends for doing that for us. Super excited to hear what you think. And other than that, we'll catch you next week with our episode on Evil Dead Rise.
Hello, Internet. I'm the ghost with the blog, Lonely, and I'm the producer of Nobody's Horror Podcast.
And I'm Mike, a.k.a. that horror teacher, bringing the dad vibes to all things horror.
And I'm Billy D., the musician, handyman, and host of Halloween Babies Podcast.
And I'm Kanan, a.k.a. Plague Dr. Al, your local horror physician and scent aficionado.
We are here talking about 2026 horror. Holy shit. How did we already get 6 months through 2026? Time flies when you're suffering. Am I right, folks?
Oh, yeah.
But let's keep it light, keep it fun. We're guests in the house, you know. So what has been your favorite horror film of 2026 so far? Mike, we'll start with you.
I'm going to duck the obvious one and say a hidden gem that I loved, which was Hallow Road. Check out Hallow Road.
Good one. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go with my top three. I'm going 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, Obsession, and Leviticus.
I'm going to be very basic and just say that it was, in fact, Obsession. What can I say?
And I have to say, on brand for me is Leviticus. Honestly, that film blew me away. I'm still thinking about it. So well written, so beautiful, so heartfelt. I could just say so many good things about it. So what is our favorite scene or scare from 2026 so far? I really give Hannah and Matt a lot of credit for keeping these questions light, because we could really go talk about everything negative that happened this year, but we shall not. Billy, back over to you. Your favorite scene or scare from the year so far?
So the Iron Maiden scene in the Bone Temple is pretty epic, but the car attack scene in Obsession took me by surprise, even though you can kind of see it coming. And the mouth fisting scene from Leviticus made me smile. What about you, Mike?
The most horrifying thing I've seen all year is 90% of Return to Silent Hill.
Well, Billy D., I'm sad you actually took my favorite, because I was going to go out of line and not do Obsession. And I was actually going to say the Iron Maiden scene from Bone Temple as well. I mean, that was absolutely righteous. Ralph Fiennes killed it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And not to be a loser and just talk about one film this whole time, but the scene in Leviticus where Ryan tells Naeem that he wants the demon to look like him. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. Punching holes in my drywall. That line's so good. That's like, oh God, that hits you right in the religious trauma. Love that for me. And what horror films are we most looking forward to this year? I don't even know what the hell is coming out this year, so you guys will have to remind me. Kanan, you can start.
Great, because I already pulled up the Wikipedia page to look ahead of time. Two of my favorite, I'll save the best one for last, but I'm looking forward to Zach Cregger's Resident Evil. I really want to see what unique spin he's going to have to it. Robert Eggers is going to be coming out with Werewolf. That one's going to be phenomenal. And then my top favorite that I'm eagerly waiting for is Evil Dead Burn. Billy D., what do you think?
So yeah, I'm looking forward to Evil Dead Burn, the new Resident Evil deal, and the end of Oak Street. But my fingers are crossed that Jeremy Saulner's new film October will be released this year. I think he's a heavy hitter, man. Everything that he's put out, I love.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
For me, there's only one. It's Evil Dead Burn. I saw Bruce Campbell said today online that if you've never seen an Evil Dead movie before, you might want to practice before you see this one. And that's got me so hype. So yeah, Evil Dead Burn.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I hope you guys have a great time with that, because I'm kind of a hater of the new Evil Dead movies, as we know, other than the new one. I think, yeah, they're just, I won't get into it. We're keeping it high, keeping it positive for the Hannahs. So we just talked about this off the mic, but the new Jane Schoenberg film is what I'm looking forward to. Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Isn't this a prequel for something? What is this a prequel of? Nothing? Am I making that up?
I didn't know that.
I don't think so. No,
If
I think
can
it
pull it up,
references
I'll
lots
tell
of
you
old
right
movies.
now. Nope, it is an independent film, and it is very self-referential, including having a final girl.
Okay, well, I just got to keep on brand. I love me some queer shit, so I really loved. I saw the TV Glow. I loved. We're All Going to the World's Fair. I'm a big fan of what Jane Schoenberg does with all of her films, so I'm excited. That is all the time we have for tonight. We are from Nobodies. You can find us at Nobodies Horror Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. We upload episodes twice a month, and I know the Hannahs will take care of all the stuff in the show notes on where to find us. So check us out, and hope to hear from you guys soon.
This is Brian from Talking Horror, and I have seen over 40 new releases of horror movies in 2026, and here are my top 5 so far. So far, number 5, we've got The Bride. I know that is not high on a lot of people's lists, but I was very high on it because of the risks it takes, and I thought that it has a spectacular performance as well as some really interesting direction by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Then at number 4, we have Sam Raimi, Send Help. Sam Raimi is back, baby. I really enjoyed this movie. This was kind of a really wonderful romp in the theater, and I just couldn't look away from the screen. Rachel McAdams is so good in this movie, and it's just an absolute delight. At number 3, we have Hokum, Scary Stuff, and Hokum was not even in my top, 10, the first time I saw it, and then the second time I saw it, it was a masterpiece. That is number 3. At number 2, we have the queer horror movie Leviticus. This is number 2 for me. I think this really could be number 1 as the year goes on, but it's not going to be better than Obsession in my mind. Obsession is my number 1 of the year so far, and it is just a gory, wild delight. However, my favorite scene from a horror movie this year does not come from any of those 5 movies. It actually comes from 28 years later, The Bone Temple. The Ralph Fiennes devil scene with the record player at the end is both creepy, disturbing, hilarious, and deeply engaging. I hope that people remember this movie towards the end of the year, at least for this scene, and at least for Ralph Fiennes' performance in this movie. I know that a lot of people didn't see this movie, which is unfortunate, but it is one of my favorites of the year. This is actually number 6 on my list, so that is definitely something to think about. I also want to shout out 3 horror movies that kind of flew under the radar a little bit that I really enjoy. One is Diabolic. Diabolic is about a woman who keeps blacking out, and in order to figure out what's happening to her, she kind of has to explore what happened to her when she left the Mormon church. Also Marama. This is a gothic horror movie about a Maori woman who goes to England to discover kind of turn of the century about her family, and then chaos ensues there. And then the found footage mock doc, Hunting Matthew Nichols. I really enjoyed this movie. It's about a woman looking for her brother who disappeared in the woods years before, and she's creating a documentary about it. I think this is really well executed, really well made, and the ending is pretty fantastic. But what's coming out the rest of the year? There's a lot of stuff that I'm very, very excited for the rest of this year. Obviously, one is super close to coming out, which is Evil Dead Burn. The Evil Dead franchise has really been fantastic over the past couple of movies, so I am very excited for this one. And I'm actually also really excited for the end of Oak Street. I know this is less horror, more like action adventure potentially, but I'm really excited for just like that big summer blockbuster that looks like a lot of fun. But I think my most anticipated horror movie for the rest of the year is probably Werewolf. Robert Eggers' Werewolf comes out in December. This one I'm really, really excited for. There's some other ones along the way, like Kreger's Resident Evil, that I'm super pumped for, just because I really like his point of view. So we'll see what he does with that. But there's a lot of good stuff coming out the rest of the year that I'm really, really genuinely excited for. And so that's kind of... I'll tell you my least favorite 3 horror movies of the year so far. Killer Whale. This was a orca animal attack movie that stinks. I also did not like, this is my least favorite movie of the year, The Mortuary Assistant. This movie is based on the video game of the same name, and the video game is scary, and this movie is not. This movie just misses the mark on all levels. It is a chore to watch. And then I'd say the most disappointing movie this year so far has probably been Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Just not for me. I could not get into that movie for many different reasons. The performances, the script, just be an Evil Dead movie. You're going to be an Evil Dead movie. Like, don't like fool me, or, whatever the case may be. Anyway, 2026 has been really good so far. So I'm genuinely interested and excited to see what the rest of this year brings. I'm also excited for Camp Miasma. I love Jane Schoenbrunn, so I'm very excited for her film. Well, thanks for having me on, Hannah's, and I will see you soon. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your 2026 horror.
When I'm thinking about the best horror film in the first half of 2026, I have to admit I haven't seen Obsession yet. So because of that, I have to say Backrooms is the best horror film I've seen so far. There's just so many layers of psychological terror buried within those mundane walls, and it's still making me think about it on a grand scale. So it was phenomenally done, and I absolutely adored it. As far as the best scare I've seen in a horror film thus far, I would have to go with the opening sequence of Passenger. The rest of the film is lackluster at best, but the opening is truly terrifying. I do wish they hadn't used a shortened version of the scene as the trailer, but really it had set a tone that unfortunately the film just couldn't live up to. And thinking of the second half of 2026, I am excited to see Evil Dead Burn, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, Ice Cream Man, and because I'm a gamer, under no circumstances am I skipping Resident Evil. And frankly, 2026 is just turning out to be an amazing year for horror. But that's my take.
Hello and welcome to the Gutted Horror Podcast segment of Horror Hour with the Hannahs. I'm Elise.
And I'm Tony, and we're here to talk about horror films from 2026.
We want to just thank Horror Hour with the Hannahs for having us on their collaboration show. We love it when they do these, and we're happy to be back. We have an episode that we do around March of every year called the Gash Awards, and that's the Gutted Awards for snubbed horror. Horror tends to get under-recognized in the Academy Awards, and we like to pay homage to horror movies that did not get recognized. So these are some movies that might get recognized at next year's Gash ceremonies. So first off, we're going to talk about the movies that were unexpected gems for us for 2026. First off, I have the movie Honey Bunch, directed by Canadian couple Dusty Mancinelli and Madeline Sims-Fewer. Also, They Will Kill You from Russian director Kirill Sokolov, and Frankie Maniac Woman from director Pierre Tsigarides, who did Traumatica from last year.
That is also on my list for most unexpected. I went into that movie not really knowing what I was going to get and was just so blown away and pleasantly surprised.
I agree, and Dina Silva's performance is definitely a standout for this year.
My other two most unexpected movies of 2026 would be Dolly by Rod Blackhurst, and then lastly, even though it's also one of the most hyped movies of the year, is Obsession from director Curry Barker. Who would have predicted that it would have been as big as it actually became?
Right, it's become a whole cultural phenomenon, and that one might come up again in one of our later categories. Next up, we have our best scares or gore effects from the year so far.
For me, it's hard to think of specific scares. They kind of get lost in the overall moment, but the ones that stick out in my memory for the gross out effect impact, I would go for the movie Dolly. There is some jaw-dropping effects for those of you who have not seen it. I will not spoil. And then Damian McCarthy's Hokum. There's one that got me in the theater. It's like a panning follow shot that goes from room to room.
Actually, Hokum is on my list as well. And it's not that scene that you mentioned. It was more of a quick pan down that jump scared me.
Oh yeah, I remember that one too.
Where like you're focusing on a clock and there's a quick pan down, and it got me in the theater. My other one would be Whistle. There were some really good unexpected gore effects in the movie Whistle. I was not expecting very much going into this movie, but it had some really nice death scenes and kills.
Andre Overall's Passenger is another one that I would add to this, and I'm not talking about the one from the trailer, the scene that takes place in the forest.
They're watching Roman Holiday, that projector screen, and Roman Holiday. And then our third category, we have our favorite overall films from Norwegian writer-director Tommy Wirkola, who also did The Trip, the Norwegian version of Over Your Dead Body. But Thrash was my unexpected surprise. Actually, honestly, for me, it was highly anticipated because I love shark movies.
That makes sense for you.
So silly, and gave me all the sharks that I wanted and some characters I actually liked and some comedy.
Going into Shark Week pretty soon.
Going into Shark Week, guys.
I feel like sharks need a whole month.
It's turning into Shark Month, and that is okay. But obviously, Obsession. I think Obsession is appropriately hyped. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I think Obsession is the clear best overall movie of the year. I would give my second place award to 28 Years Later, Bone Temple.
It was a tall order for Nia DaCosta to follow up Danny Boyle, but I think she did a really great job.
Just a quick shout out to Backrooms as well. Continuing with this phenomenon of these young filmmakers who are doing something original and studios finally giving them
the recognition.
And
then going back to Obsession, obviously Obsession is going to get nominated for some Gash Awards, but do we think that Obsession could get nominated for an actual Oscar? Maybe for Curry Barker or Indy Navarrete's performance as Nikki?
Indy Navarrete would definitely get some recognition from the Academy. Curry Barker, I'm not sure, maybe.
I think they both have a good shot.
Oh, and we forgot to mention for Scares, the one in the car seat.
The way that it's set up, you expect it, but you don't expect it to go so hard. But for me, the scare that actually gave me chills was her final backwards walk. I gasped and I actually got chills. And our last category, we have the movies that we are looking forward to for the remainder of 2026.
Victorian Psycho by Zachary Wigan.
Because we mentioned Shark Week. The Devil's Mouth from director Jeff Wadlow.
Evil Dead Burn by Sebastian Vanishek.
From Korean director Yoon Song-ho. The Colony.
Camp Miasma from Jane Schoenbrunn.
Spider-One's Big Baby.
Zach Krager's Resident Evil.
From Polish director Agnieszka Szmocińska. Hotspot.
And lastly, Robert Eggers' Werewolf. Super excited to see what the weather conditions look like in this movie.
You love a winter storm.
So much to look forward to in 2026.
So many wonderful international directors and writers.
Tons of indie horror.
And thank you so much again to Horror Hour with the Hannahs for having us.
Check out Gutted Horror Podcast.
Thank you for listening to
Gutted on Horror Hour with the Hannahs.
Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannahs. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever else you can find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube, where we post episodes and shorts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannahs on TikTok and Instagram, as well as at Horror Hour on Blue Sky for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!